Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-May 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get this going. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Gemini collective in mid-May? We were getting very close to Gemini season, my good friends. Let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a little peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you could lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini in mid-May. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out. All right, cool. Nice and quick. So we have a lot of Libra energy showing up here, literally. Like you see it on the card, the Libra sign. We have the little yin yangs going on. And this could actually be a very good way to start off any kind of reading because it does imply that there's some sort of balancing of the scales, which could be great. It's also big when it comes to duality as well. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, it's a beautiful image. We have this individual standing there. It looks like an art model with the Libra symbol right there, yin yang on the chest. Looks like he's balancing those two discs. It does remind me quite a bit of the Two of Pentacles. I'm not sure if you know what card that is, but it's a person with the infinity symbol, like doing a little balancing act. So first and foremost, I like this card because there's a lot of harmony and balance here. So for a lot of Geminis, there could be a lot of things or situations that are coming into a nice balance, nice neutrality. This is always a really good sign because it's like it's not too light, not too dark, not too hot, not too cold, just right. So this is really good. There could be a lot of situations or things where you're trying to look from every perspective as well. Because that's another thing with this card and Libra energy, where it's like I put myself in other people's shoes. I'm trying to see it from every single perspective and angle. That's the good thing here. The downside to this energy is that sometimes it shows up when you might have too much on your plate, right? Where it does feel like I'm doing a balancing act, where it's like my mind is here, 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 and here. I have to do this, 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 and this. This card can sometimes show up when you're a little too busy or the scales could be a little imbalanced. There could be certain things that are a little too heavy in the moment. So hopefully it's a good thing. Hopefully it's that energy I see coming into a nice neutrality, where it's something about perspective, where it's like I'm looking from every angle. But we're going to let it chill right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Gemini. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was centered around communication. The reading was titled An Explosive Talk. Now, that might sound a little aggressive, and it can be, but to me, when I think of an explosive talk, either it's one that intensifies quickly, pops in out of nowhere, all of that can be in play. And for the past several weeks, communication or even lack thereof could be an important part of whatever it is you're dealing with. So just watch out for that. That energy could bleed over for the next couple of weeks where there could be a lot of intensity. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Gemini. What do we have? In mid-May, as we're getting close to your birthday season, my good friends. Okay. So Hanged Man in position number 1. Now, normally I like an action card in the first spot. Not much action happening here with this Hanged Man, right? He's kind of just hanging around, right? Watching, waiting, analyzing. We're going to have to see what's up. Whoa, all right, complete and total opposite. You're not the only sign that I've been seeing a very similar thing with, especially this week, where it's like I'm getting both extremes, right? So maybe that's why we're getting that yin-yang symbolism, because those energies are not like each other whatsoever. And then we got the 5 of Pentacles right here on the back end. So that's something we most definitely need to look into a little further. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that's important. It frames the reading, tells us how the energy could flow. And I would say this week we're looking pretty much earth predominant, right? When we have the Hanged Man and the Five of Pentacles. Uh, this in the center, judgment, I see that as more spiritual energy, not elemental. It can be scorpionic in my personal belief. But the thing with Hanged Man, it could be earth and water. So we have this interesting mixture of energy happening. Now, when it comes to earth, it can be good, right? Like the energy itself, it could represent stability and security. Are you feeling safe? Are you feeling secure? Are you feeling like everything's all right? That's a big thing with earth energy. It represents routine. It represents day-to-day life, what you do every day at Monday at this time. It's like something about it that's very scheduled. So it can speak about regular daily life. It could be money, work, business, finance. All of that can be in play when there's a lot of earthy energy. It could also represent home and family. So when I see Earth, I think of the world around us. Now, the frustrating thing when it comes to all this earthy energy is it's a very slow mover. The energy is like very detailed, very meticulous, doesn't move too rapidly, and sometimes it can make you feel stuck. Now, here in the center with judgment, I already told you it's not elemental to me, but I think of it as scorpionic Plutonian type of energy, which is change based, it's metamorphosis based. So it's like we do have a big shifting of energy here where it's like a burst. There's a big burst right there in the center that we want to keep an eye on. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Hanged Man. Now, as I mentioned, I usually like action. Hanged Man is not that, right? So it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. We see this person hung upside down. As far as zodiac signs, people link it to Virgo. Some people link it to Pisces. Some people even link it to Scorpio. I've linked it to all three. So it's that earthy, watery mixture, which is generally pretty good. But we see this person hung upside down and he's watching. He's not in distress, right? That's one thing that's important to notice about the Hanged Man. It's not like he's freaking out. I think most of us, if we were hung upside down by our ankles, would be freaking out a little bit. But he's not. He's chilling, right? So to me, this is a card that's watching and waiting, where it's like I'm absorbing information. So this could be a situation that either one, spirit wants you to keep an eye on or treat seriously. Uh, there could be certain information that you're gathering. That's another thing with this, where it's like I'm gathering facts, I'm gathering information, I'm watching. This could also be a very strategic energy. Now, other themes that come along with the Hanged Man, aside from lack of action, this is like the calm before the storm. It can represent self-sacrifice, where like you take one for the team, or you're putting someone else's well-being ahead of yours. If you're that type of person where you would give someone the shirt off your back, that's what this card represents, where it's like I just want to do for others. So it's good. The big downside to the Hanged Man is that it is that stuck energy. It's not moving. It can be problematic, right? Because the energy in and of itself, it doesn't seem to be doing much. So we're just going to put him right there. But to me, it's like the calm before the action. Now, moving to the middle, we definitely got the action, right? We got judgment right here. Boom. Now, it could be literal, where this could actually represent judgments, judgment calls, decisions, choices, all that. We see the Archangel Gabriel here, which is always a good sign, very angelic, spiritually protected. But the Archangel Gabriel is known as the messenger of God. So this card does show up sometimes when I'm getting omens, signs, synchronicities. You might be getting more of those than you usually do. But the biggest thing with judgment is it represents change, a shifting of energy. This is powerful. It is explosive and it's unstoppable. That's the one thing here. Sometimes judgment can represent things looping back around as well. So intense, super intense. So we go from like 0 to 100 when we have this mixture of energy showing up here. Judgment can also represent karmic energy. So whether it's karmic situations, karmic cycles, you name it, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. The big downside to judgment is the fact that it it's something that's happening and there's no stopping it. That's what I always say. It's like, all right, well, this energy is just super, super intense. So we're gonna have to see how that all plays. Now we get to the back end, we have the Five of Pentacles. Not the nicest energy, but again, it doesn't completely sink the reading. It's just something we need to keep an eye on. We see these two people, they're thrown out in the cold. And we're going to separate this in two different ways. When this represents work, money, business, finance, this could be spirit saying to like knuckle down and budget and watch the spending when this card is here. When it comes to personal relationships, I always say this to me represents isolation. It could represent loneliness. It could represent missing someone or longing for something. That's a big thing with the Five of Pentacles. It is problematic, right? It is either a situation that you need to keep an eye on, could be a problem you need to keep your eye on, or the good thing about it is that it's not forever. Even though it's earthy energy, it's like this too shall pass. So it's like a bump in the road, which is a good thing. There's nothing of permanence with it. But the energy could just be a little uncomfortable, right? Like with all this 0 to 100 shifting and changing, it's like, oh, the ground is shaking. So I want to dive deeper on all the Gemini. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my friends. Let's see what's happening. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Hanged Man. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is that Hanged Man here? Okay. Okay, there could absolutely be a situation that Spirit wants you to keep a very close eye on or treat seriously when I see the Emperor in reverse. Now, the Emperor in reverse isn't necessarily a bad thing. To me, this is kind of like a watching from the sidelines type of energy. Because let's talk about the Emperor, big Aries energy. Usually it's taking action, making moves, making stuff happen. The Emperor is the king of kings. So when I see him in reverse, either one, it represents situations that are kind of out of my hands, situations that I can't quite control, or it's Spirit saying, pause, wait, hold off. Like there is this energy, and I can't let go of the symbolism of like somebody watching from the sidelines. So again, whether it is a situation you should take seriously or keep an eye on, or this could even be you under the microscope as well. That's very possible when I see this energy where it's like, I'm not doing anything yet, but I'm getting information. I'm taking in information. I'm taking in facts. So I don't want to freak anyone out. It's not like you're being stalked or anything like that, hopefully. But the main thing to me is like there's eyes on something, or there should be. So again, there might be a situation that either you need to take seriously, keep a close eye on it, um, or again, you might be under the microscope. Same thing applies. But yeah, with this Emperor in reverse, it's like, all right, well, nothing I can really do about it, so I'll just keep an eye on it. There could be a whole variety of things that pop up where it's like, okay, can't act yet, can't act now, but the time will come. So like there is this gathering of facts. We're keeping an eye on a situation. We're just going to keep moving. It is what it is. And that's the main vibe I feel. For those of you connected to an Aries, that could be part of it too. Um, could feel stuck, right? Because again, with the Aries, that's energy that wants to push, 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 move forward. This energy feels like it can't for whatever reason. Let's go in on Judgment, because that's where the energy does a big shift on us. So let's see what Judgment has. We'll keep it moving. So why is Judgment here? Why is Judgment here? Thank you. Okay. There could be a whole variety of different things popping back up in this time. So we do have the Eight of Cups in reverse. When I see Judgment with the Eight of Cups in reverse, there could be someone or something where Spirit's like, all right, well, don't quite give up on that just yet. And again, it could be a situation where it's like, don't give up. Don't give up on it just yet. Even if there's temptation to do so. But aside from that, don't give up, can't give up type of energy, when I see the Eight of Cups in reverse underneath Judgment, remember what I said was one of the things with Judgment. It could represent something looping back around. Then the Eight of Cups usually is walking away. In reverse, it's looping back around. So there could be a whole variety of different situations that are popping up surprisingly, unexpectedly. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly the same thing that you've been through before, but it's like, I feel like I've done this before. I feel like I've seen this before. So whether it's a situation, a thought process, an individual, there could be a whole variety of different things where the door is opening for things to pop back up on you. That's just how this feels to me. So those are the main two things here in the center. Either one, there's like a don't give up, can't give up energy, or two, there's the door opening for a variety of things to return, right? So we're going to keep going. And it's coming through very straightforward, very cut and dry to me. It's not over conflated. So let's see what the Five of Pentacles has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So the energy is just moving along. It's moving right along. So why is that Five of Pentacles here for my beautiful Geminis? What's happening? Cool. Better. Improvement. Okay, so if there is something that does pop up, or you do get a chance to try again, I do feel like this is absolutely taking a better approach or improving in a way. So I actually do like this. So we have the Six of Swords in the upright. And what does the Six of Swords represent? Coming out of choppy waters into calm. It represents not only travel and distance, so maybe some of you are taking a trip of some kind, but when I see the Six of Swords, it's like we are improving, we are getting through this, we are getting over something. Right? Because remember, up here in the front, it's like, can't do anything about it. Oh, well, this energy here on the back end is like naturally evolving in some sort of way, which I think is really great. So there could be a variety of different things where spirits like just give it time, give it time, give it time. I like that this is in the upright. This is also a card that could loop back around on you. So like half of the spread are energies that can return. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, the Five of Pentacles, the problem, the situation, uncomfortable energy, Six of Swords, improving and getting better. I like that very face up type of energy. It just feels very simple, straightforward here where it's like things are getting better. So if you do get the chance to circle back on something or try something again, give it another go, like if at first you don't succeed, try again. There is this energy that says I know the pitfalls now. I know the dangers and I will handle it better this time. Right? It's like mastery through experience where it's like I know the pitfalls, I'm going to do it the right way this time. So to me, it's like somebody potentially learning a lesson of some sort. That way, when the energy does pop back up, it's handling it in a better fashion because it's not as surprised. I know I'm getting hyper specific, only take it if it hits. But if you are having any choppy waters or choppy situations, I just love how the energy seems to move forward in a positive direction. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. So nice ending there, even though there's some tension showing up within the reading itself. But if you kindly look in the box position, number one, we got the Hanged Man with the Emperor in reverse. Energy that's like keeping an eye on something, sit back, wait, watch, nothing I can do about it now. So I'm going to get information. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Again, you might be under the microscope too. That's very possible. But to me, it's like extracting information. That's a big thing I'm picking up here. Again, there could just be a situation where spirits like just keep an eye on it. Like you don't have to over invest all your energy into it. Just keep an eye open for it. In the center, we have Judgment with Eight of Cups in reverse. Absolutely an energy that's returning in some sort of fashion. Could be surprising as well. Like very rapid from nothing to quick. Um, Another thing here is like a shot in the arm from spirit saying like, hey, don't give up hope or don't give up. And I like those words of encouragement. It does feel good that there could be something where it's like, hey, don't write this off yet. Moving to the back end, we have the Five of Pentacles, Six of Swords in the upright, doing something a better way the second time around or another time where it's like, okay, I know the pitfalls, now I know what to do. Yeah, we do have the distance travel, a lot of looping back type of energy, but to me, any problematic energy does start to smooth out. So that's a good thing. We're seeing improvement. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my beautiful Gemini friends. What do we have in man? Yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got in the shadows? Cool, nice and quick. So yeah, we do have the Queen of Wands in the upright, big fire sign energy, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And a big thing with the Queen of Wands, I would say she's a very attractive energy. She's a very magnetic energy that pulls things to her. She represents confidence. She represents beauty and aesthetics. So for some Geminis, maybe in this time you're changing something about your look or your wardrobe, or you're just there could be a focus on how you present yourself to the world when this card shows up. But the thing I love about her is her confidence and her magnetism. That's a good thing with the Queen of Wands. But the shadow side of her is she could absolutely be an energy that is too hard on herself. So when I see this as the shadow card, watch out for things about self-confidence or self-deprecation and things like that. Like don't be so hard on yourself. Treat yourself with loving, kind empathy as well whenever she shows up as a shadow. I mean, unless you're having issues with a fire sign. But we're just going to put her down right there, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My May calendar is up and the spots go quick, so you might want to check it out. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to win either a copy of the Tarot of the Owls, beautiful deck, and it's really nice, or 3 custom made pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of the cards that showed up in this week's reading, which one caught your attention most or resonated with you most. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the posts tab. My friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.